Hi, and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits.
And my name is Amanda, also known as Dramatic Mandy.
And today is Monday, June 17th, 2019. This is episode 333. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back for one more episode. And if you're new, hopefully you enjoy this episode and you'll come back for future episodes. So, we are here. Corn Dog's joining us because no one ever gets a Corn Dog cameo. He's our little Tubbers, and he doesn't like to jump up into laps. He will occasionally, but only if he's super excited. So he was like, if you want me up here, you're going to have to pick me up, right? So Cornelius, affectionately called Corn Dog, if you're new.
Or Cornelius Bieberhausen III.
Bieberhausen?
That's what Andy named him.
Beaverhausen.
Really?
Not Bieber, not like Justin Bieber.
It's Beaver? Okay, I didn't know that.
Or Corny. He is a Cairn Terrier. A lot of people think he is a Westie, but he is a Cairn Terrier. He's a Toto, but he is a very light-colored Toto. So.
You're so handsome. Big yawn.
He's like, can I go take a nap now?
You're so handsome.
There may be some puppy grumbling behind us. They were fighting over a toy after dinner, so now he's excited. You hear that panting? Oh, well, then he stops. Anyway, enough about puppies and dogs. It has been 3 weeks since we were recorded, and honestly, Amanda and I were... It is also like 7:30 in the evening. We were debating in not recording. We are both not feeling very well, and unfortunately, I think I'm the one who got her sick, even though she's dealing with it much worse than I am. I'm going to set Corn Dog down, hopefully. But right after we recorded last time, I started not feeling the best. I started having, achiness and thinking I was going to get a cold or at least a head cold. And we went to Atlanta, and I was just not feeling the best. But every other day, it felt like I was getting hit by a truck. And needless to say, that has just not gone away. So I did go to the walk-in clinic today because it's just such general symptoms. They really felt like they couldn't give me anything. Plus, I'm dealing with some of the diabetes issues that I'm dealing with. So I need to see if that's playing into it because my numbers are a bit elevated. So I have to call my doctor, but she gave me some over-the-counter homeopathic black elderberry stuff and thing and something else. So I came home and took a nap this evening. Naps seem to help, but just not fun. But this one is definitely dealing with being sick. And my doorbell never rings.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to answer that. We'll be right back. Alright, so now after that interruption, in case you were wondering, that was our tree guy. We have been working for the last month to get a very, very large old dead tree taken down in our backyard, and the last week or so they haven't made any progress, and they have like 20-foot tall tree trunk left, plus a lot of big tree trunk parts in our backyard. So he wanted to update me to tell me that they were going to be taking the rest of the tree trunk down and getting rid of the debris tomorrow. And then the final phase will be grinding out the stump, which is not done by him, but by someone else. And we are getting 2 other tree stumps in our front yard ground out, which will be nice. So, anyway, not that you needed to know that, but, so yeah, I don't know where we were, but, dogs
About
and...
you being sick.
Oh, yeah, us being sick. So, while the recording was done, I said, man, you feel my head? I'm all, like, cold and clammy and sweating, and anyway. So I'm on some over-the-counter homeopathic remedies, and,
It's not like you went to a witch doctor. It just sounds like that.
Yeah. Well, whatever. They sell it at Walgreens. It works. So, hopefully I will start feeling better soon. Basically, there just was because of my elevated diabetes numbers and just everything and not being able to get rest because we've been working so hard that my body just cannot get over this. So, anyway. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I've been to Atlanta, back home to Illinois, to Estes Park, Colorado, back home to Illinois, and to Ames, Iowa, back home to Illinois, all in the last 3 weeks since we've talked. I think I've been home for a total of about 6 days, maybe, in those 3 weeks. Yeah, and I leave on Wednesday again for Rochester, Minnesota for the Zombie Apocalypse Retreat. I really do enjoy our life and our company and what we get to do, but we are so ready for a break. We have 2 weeks off in July, and we need it. It's a lot of traveling, and it's really fun to see the world, but it is a lot of time spent in a van, putting up product, putting up our whole display, tearing it down, and then just going on to the next place. So just need a little bit of a break and we'll be ready to go again. But it's just, and then coming to the end of a long stretch, we know that a break is coming, and so we're kind of excited. But we have 2 more weekends of work and then 2 weekends off, which is exciting. We were supposed to have 3 weekends off in July, but I just booked another trunk show, so because I can't say no to work. Anyway, what have you been up to, Amanda? You've been actually relatively busy for you.
Yeah, well, it's been my birthday month, so I've been,
How old is this lady?
very young. 24, still get carded, you know. Except I didn't get carded, on my birthday, so. But, let's see. I went to... Oh, so my best friend Miranda, she finally had her glow party. But of course, I was in charge of helping out. We've been setting up for this glow party for months now. And went there the day before to get everything put up. It was... a lot of work. I actually said to Miranda, I was like, so by the time the party comes around, I'm just gonna go to bed and y'all can have fun. Like, it was exhausting, but it was a lot of fun, and the party turned out great. It didn't turn out quite like we thought. She had invited a lot of friends, I think from college and stuff like that, a lot had stuff and they're like last minute, like didn't show up. But what was really nice and we loved was she recently moved to a town called Monticello, which is actually where our retreat's being held at. But she's in this little like cul-de-sac, and earlier in the month, I guess in May more so, she handed out little like invitations. Can't say words right. I'm sorry.
You said it right.
Did I? It sounded wrong. I don't know. But she handed them out to the neighbors around her. And honestly, not thinking much of it, she has talked to a couple of them just because she gets her hair done by one, and they always hang out outside together, like having drinks and like, you know, chatting up whatever in the cul-de-sac. But we didn't think that anyone would show up. Well, all of the neighbors like came at once, and they've all brought their kids. And before I was being like a busybody trying to clean up and be like the mom of everything. And these kids show up, and, like, I just light up. I'm like, so it's a glow party. We had tons of glow sticks and, like, balloons and all this stuff. I'm, like, handing it to all these kids. It was amazing. I'm, like, I don't know. It lit up my world. I was so happy. And so these kids had a blast, and then the parents and stuff had a blast, because they were younger parents. Like, people were, like, in their early 30s. It wasn't like they were old or anything, but everyone was having a good time. Well, like, she has a few older neighbors that are, like, probably, like, in their 80s or whatever. They definitely did not show up.
Hey, they could have shaken it to some glow. Got some glow
They
on.
did.
Glow on.
We were really proud of our decorations, though. It was bomb. Everyone loved it. So hopefully it'll happen again. We want to make this a yearly thing, especially since we invested so much in it. And we have a lot of stuff that we can... Reuse, right. But it was a ton of fun. So that happened, and then I had like a day to recuperate before that, and I went to up north to visit my other good friend, my best friend from college, Megan. I dragged her along to a Machine Gun Kelly concert that was, I could cry. It was spectacular. It was absolutely amazing. The only problem I had with it was I was doing this the entire time because I am so short and everyone else is so tall. I could not see. Half the time I was looking at people's phones, like they'll videotape the concert, and I'm looking at that because I can see that better. But because my friend Meg, she is notorious for being really late to things, so you have to tell her, like, get there at 2 if you want her to get there at, like, 7 o'clock. So, we didn't get to the venue as early as I'd like, which was fine, but we didn't get as close to the stage. We weren't that far off, but I still had to duck and weave to try to see things. But it was absolutely amazing. I was going in thinking I may cry, but I didn't. It was so, the energy was so amazing and so, like, high level. And then he sings a song, gets a little emotional, and I start bawling. And this was towards the end of the night, and Meg turns around, and she feels bad because she's not a huge MGK fan, and I am, so I kind of dragged her to it. And she didn't understand why I was crying, and I was like, no, it's a good thing, it's okay. But it was awesome, it was a great night. And then the day after, we went out to a bar near her house that has the greatest baked French onion soup. It's one of my favorites, and no one makes it very good anymore. And, oh, it is so good at this bar by her house. So I had that, and I was satisfied. And then, this weekend was my one weekend where I had off, where I was just gonna hang out with the dogs and knit like crazy. Well, no. I get crazy sick, and hang on. As you can tell.
See,
Sorry.
I didn't get any of this. I didn't. No. So that the doctor's like, oh, you probably gave it to your sister. And I'm like, I didn't have any. I just feel like I've been hit by a truck every day.
Well, as a kid, I had pneumonia and I was in the hospital, and they said my immunity was going to be low the rest of my life, and that when I catch things, it's going to, like, come at a greater, like,
veracity.
Right, so I think that might be it. Like, we probably have the same thing, but I got a really awful fever, like 101.7 at one point. I texted him, no joke, I slept between Friday and Sunday, like the 72 hours, I slept 45 hours. Like, Saturday, I was maybe up for like 3 of the 24 hours. I was just gone. I was out. But thank God I didn't have anything to do this weekend. So I was able to do that, and I think I broke the fever yesterday.
And yeah, I made you take some of those black elderberry gummies. Yeah. You need to start taking those on the reg. Support your immune system.
But that being said, just a fair warning for later, because I've been so busy, and then this weekend I did diddly squat. I don't have that much to show,
but she's joining.
I am.
She's showing face, so.
I am.
All right, well, let's get right into things then, and let's talk about what's taking about. If you haven't noticed, for fuck's sake, I finished my For Fox's Sake by Maxim Sear using Leading Men Fiber Arch Dramaturg in the London Fog, Rusted, which is the red, the maroon, the Grouch, which is the green, and then I used Box Office, which is our worsted, for the heirloom, in heirloom, which is the fox color, only because I didn't have DK dyed up at the time in the heirloom, so I went with worsted, and I think it worked out fine. I did get it washed and black. This is my first time wearing it since then. I did try it on after I finished it, and I was super happy. So I'm going to roll back so you can see what this looks like in all of its glory. The sleeves are a little long, but the way I like them. So I did take out 2 inches, I think, of what they recommended. But I'm super happy with it. I did the 47 1/4 bust, I think. But I went up to a size 7 instead of a size 6 that they recommend. 5 for the ribbing, which you can see here. I think it's a good length for me, and it did black out pretty well up here. I thought my color work is not the best and could be a lot better, but I feel like it did black out decently well. So there's that.
I'm proud of you.
And I really like, this is a picked up collar knit on afterwards, and I really, while it's still showing some undershirt, it is one of the better fitting collars of a knitted garment that I've made for myself.
That is very true.
So I might take that into consideration for future sweaters and try that instead. But I am super happy with it. One of my sleeves is bound off a little tighter than the other one, but it did block out to be able to at least kind of pull the sleeve up. So I am very happy with my color choices. Andy said, when I came downstairs, I said, I'm happy with it for the most part. And he goes, what's the for most part? And I said, I just think the green, maybe I could have chosen a different color to really pop off of that. But I don't think it's Christmassy at all. I just think, I think with the colors work, I don't know if I'm 100% sold. So, but I will be wearing this at shows come this fall. And I'm in talks with the designer about carrying his pattern in our booth for future shows. But this is available on Ravelry, and super excited about it. So, sorry, Ernest wants up here, but I'm not going to pick him up.
The rusted looks so insanely gorgeous. I mean, I've seen it knitted up as a swatch, but like I don't think I've seen it in like an actual like knitted like something or other.
Yeah.
It is so pretty.
I did not alternate skeins until after the color work, and then I alternated the London Fog throughout, including both sleeves. One sleeve, the second one, I don't know which one it was. I stopped alternating once I ran out of the last ball, so I just used, what I had left of one ball to finish out the sleeves, but I used just under 5 skeins of London Fog, just over 1 skein of Rusted, and like less than half skeins of the Heirloom and the Grouch. So
he has some leftovers, and I think I'm gonna steal them.
Well, they've been sitting in the studio, and I've told her 5 times that they're hers.
Because I have 900 things on the needles now.
But she loves the feel of our DK, and she's been wanting to knit with it. So I said, "You have at." Anyway, that's what I finished for Fox's sake.
What did I finish?
Yeah, what did you finish?
Nothing.
Eventually.
Yes.
But I told her, I said, that's the nice thing about a 2-person podcast. We get to carry each other. I have a finished object this week. Probably will not have one next week.
I probably won't. I'm going to try, but I don't know.
By the way, we're having our Pank Drank.
Pank Drank.
Cheers, bitch.
Cheers. See, it is so...
Explicit.
It is so hard for me not to cuss because I am in the habit of doing that a lot, and you're the one that did it.
Anyway, if you want to know our Pank Drank, it is Deep Eddy's lemon vodka.
The best.
With strawberry lemonade, 0-calorie, like sparkling water stuff.
They have the ice version that's like expensive. We get the off-brand because
it's like 20 cents cheaper.
Yeah, personally, I also think it tastes better. It's actually 50 cents cheaper now because the ice is like $1 and ours is only 50 cents.
Oh.
But yeah, the ice is okay, but I personally think the off-brand tastes better.
So in my glass, about like up to here is vodka, and then you fill the rest. Anyway.
Anyway.
Let's move into what's performing. What have we been working on the past 3 weeks? So first for me is my wrap design. I'm still going back and forth on what I'm going to call it. I'm thinking that's my jam. I'm also thinking maybe jelly roll.
That.
I don't know.
You can't have jam because you have Mary's jam and...
Well, I need to see. I think I looked up jelly roll and I think there's some other
okay.
Quite a few designs.
We'll brainstorm.
I'm into the 3rd of the 6 gradient pack colors.
That's cute.
I have a feeling it's going to use a lot of yarn. I pegged 2 full skeins of the Mary's Jam, which is the purple, but I have a feeling it's going to take like 2.5.
How much have you used so far? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm getting low on the first skein, and I'm only just into the 3rd color, and I've got to go through 6 and then back.
I adore your little lace section, though. It truly looks like a flower, though. It really does.
I think it'll be really pretty. I'm going to be happy with it. It's hard to see on camera, and it's hard to see in certain lights, but it is a subtle color change. It goes from like a very pale green into a very pale yellow into a very pale pink, but it'll get a little darker in the last two colors and then fade out. So
I'll be a Tess knitter because honestly I love this. Although I've never worked with beads before, I know it's not that difficult, but it's
just a little time consuming.
Yeah.
So that's going. That's knit on a size 5 US 3.75 millimeter needle. The purple is Mary's Jam in our Showstopper base. And then the gradient pack is called Fruit Salad.
Cute, cute.
Next up is my Alpine Blanket. Oh, I left it over there.
Do you want to go get it? Because it's so floofy, I want to touch it.
I can get out easier than you can. I'm in a rolly chair. Hold, please.
Do. Wait, what's the Jeopardy thing again?
Do. And we're back from commercial break. So I did work on this one night, and with this, a little bit goes a long way.
You're going to need more balls.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to need more than 20 balls.
Yeah.
But that's because I extended my cast on by almost double.
Oh my god.
But I couldn't see only 80 stitches, it being wide enough to really be a blanket. So this is my Alpine Blanket. It's knit out of Serdar Alpine, which is this more than fun fur. I don't want to call it fun fur because it's not. It's like a luxurious fur, like a fun luxury fur. It looks like a beard on you right now.
You know what? I'm feeling it.
This is knit on a size 15 US, which is a 10 millimeter needle. But I worked on this one night while we watched some TV. How
people say we need smell-o-vision. You need feel-o-vision.
It is super cuddly. And I did join in a new ball. I don't know if I'm on 5 or 6 right now, but
I really like this one too, cause the brownish.
Yeah, it's in color number 403, which is brindle, which I chose because I thought it would pop off of our beige couch enough that it's brown to work with the beige, but it has that black undertone to kind of make it pop off the beige and not just match it. So, all right. Next up is my History Has Its Eyes on You socks. I'm using White Birch Fiber Arts self-striping yarn in our 7525 Superwash Merino nylon base in the History Has Its Eyes on You colorway, which is based off of Hamilton. And then I'm using Leading Men Fiber Arts Showstopper mini skein for the cuff, heel, and toe. I have the first sock done.
So cute.
With an afterthought heel. I finished that on the road. It is a 10 stripe colorway. And then I did cast on for the second, and I got through the cuff. And this is all I got done on the road this weekend was the actual color, striping color there. But these are knit on a size 1 US, which is a 2.25 millimeter needle. So, and these will be for Andy. He likes them. So.
These are real cute. I like those colors together.
I got to see, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. White Birch, because I just know people by their company names. She was in Atlanta, and then she did the drive straight from Atlanta over to Estes Park, Colorado, because she's originally from Vermont, I believe. So she was not going to go home from Atlanta. So she took 3 days to get out to Colorado, whereas we went home for about 2.5 days and drove back over. Next up for me is a new cast on. I talked about it as a in rehearsal last episode, and that is Verdun by Melanie Berg. I'm using Leading Men Fiber Arts Show Stealer, which is our MCN base and nude scene, Poseidon, Dirty Truce, Jewett,
okay,
and Black Walnut.
Very pretty.
I'm just using the first 2 colors right now, and it's a lot of the same thing, and I'm maybe 2/3 of the way done with section 1. But basically all I'm doing is striping it and increasing, so it's just a big triangle right now. But it is a big wrap with some lace, some triangle, or some striping, some other stuff, and some other stuff. So it's a little wrinkled because it's been shoved in my bag. But I was going to pick a bigger part. It's my pink drink. I was going to pick a bigger project bag, but this project bag by Fat Squirrel Fibers matches my project. Can you see it?
Yes, it's literally perfect.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, we got to go with this bag. But I have a feeling this project will be good. Good retreat knitting this weekend in Rochester. So at least I hope so. Unless it jumps right into the lace and then I screw up. Let's hope not. All right. And then last is my granny square blanket, which I'm not going to show you. I only added 1 or 2 squares, so I'll wait to show you till next episode. But I finished the sweater and started to wrap and got a sock done, and
more than me.
So I'm doing all right.
Wells, first for me is something you've seen for like 900 years. My favorite vanilla socks by Megan Schmaltz.
Schmaltz. That's a fun name.
Schmaltz. Yeah, it's fun to say. I'm using Knitted Wit Victory Sock in Witch's Brew. Super cute. Hey, I might actually have these done in time for Halloween because I started them in not the right season, but you know, I'm witchy all the time, so.
And something that rhymes with witchy.
But
it's true about both of us. Our mother raised us well.
Yes. This was my first sock that I did so many.
Ever? First sock. Ever.
Yes. Very, very, I'm proud of myself. Can't give myself a pat on the back, though, okay? I'm still working on it, but I have gotten a little farther.
You're getting close to the heel, probably.
I am. I still love them. I think it's cute. Don't know if I'll ever wear them, because I'm such a picky, I wear the, little sock. I don't like anything high up on my ankle, but honestly, probably in, the winter time when I actually, want to wear those instead of, slippers in the winter.
Well, and who knows? I mean, even if you knit them and you wear them around work with no shoes.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, but then, they get dirty.
But you're knitting them. Why not wear them? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rather than not wear them.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, and that was on a size 1.5 US, 2.5 millimeter. And then, which bag is it in? Then I've got my 80/20 by Alexis Adrian, and this is essentially a scarf that is just seed stitch all the way through. But the reason it's 80/20 is because you use 80% one yarn and then 20% another. And I am using the Lion Brand Heartland in Cuyahoga Valley, and I have completed this color.
So the 80% is done.
The 80% is done. I have completed this beautiful, teal blue color.
And this girl over here loves seed stitch.
I don't think I would love it if it was a very long...
Like a sweater of it?
Yeah. But I genuinely want to make more of these scarves for whoever wants them, because I don't mind it. I can handle it when I'm watching other things. Except the one day I messed up and I had to go into him and be like, what did I do wrong?
And I was like, I don't know, just rip it out.
Yeah, I just had to go back. But, yeah, I love it. I love the way it feels. I love everything about it. But then I will be adding, also Heartland Tweed and something or other.
Is it Mount Rainier?
Mount Rainier, something or other. But it's a gray, silvery with specks of different colors that will totally go with it. And this is going to be for my friend Miranda. I'm loving it. Her birthday's not till November, so I have a long time. But it'll probably get done before that. But so I
hope so. You're 80% done.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna kind of go off of I might make it a little bit longer on that side just to make it fit better, but we'll see. And then
Because she's no monogamous knitter anymore.
I know. You can laugh at me. I was like, I'm never going to knit more than one thing at a time. Are you kidding? And then I've got the Audra wrap by Amba O'Brien, aka my favorite. I love her so much. I fangirl a little bit.
Do you follow her on Instagram now?
You know what? I don't.
She's like, I don't follow any knitting people except you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do follow Black Cat because those are my girls.
and Black Cat. That's what she's like. That's it. Everything.
That's
the only thing I follow on Instagram. You gotta follow Amba now.
I probably should, but then I'll be like, I need that.
I showed you the new wrap, and she's got something else new coming up.
But then I'm gonna go a little cray-cray. I have gotten some progress on this.
Yeah, you have.
So I'm using Leading Fiber at Showstopper in a director's interpretation, which is basically like a...
one of a kind.
Yeah. And then also, so this is the director's interpretation, which is like a navy with like, almost like undertones of like peach, I would say.
Yeah. We talked about it last episode, but it's kind of a oops, it happens in the dye process of this one navy color, our Dames at Sea. And I've learned that I can oops it a lot because I keep doing it. So Andy's been taking over dyeing Dames at Sea.
But it's really pretty. And then I'm also using Just Peachy in Showstopper as well.
Now, we will say the Audra wrap is meant for 3 colors, or is it 3 yarn?
It is 3 different yarns. The part where I'm doing, it's basically garter. You're supposed to use one. They're not supposed to be insanely like different. They're supposed to be lighter colors, and one is supposed to be like a lace weight, I believe.
Is it the mohair lace or just lace?
Lace
weight and a fingering weight.
Yeah.
To kind of give you a different texture.
I'm not doing that because I personally saw this pattern and I loved it for me, and I wanted to make it the way I would wear it. So I'm only using 2 colors. But I have gotten the majority of the first garter band, because this is the very beginning little like detailed edge, and then I've only got a few more garter bands left until I go back into the Just Peachy. So I've gotten quite a bit done. It takes a little while. It's actually kind of big. I can't even fit it all on my needles, but I love it. It's so cute. So I've gotten some progress. Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
I was gonna say that's a good deal of progress on the wrap.
I'm really feeling this one. So
I'm crashing. Oh.
That's in the best bag ever. And then what else do I have?
Oh wait, there's more.
Oh my goodness, there's 2 more things. Okay, so then I don't have much progress on this, but I am working on the Hue Shift Afghan. This took me a little while. So I showed you this whole row. I only have one additional one, which is like identical to this. But it took me a while to figure it out because you have to cast on in a different way than I've been. And I'm proud of myself because I haven't gotten any like help from him.
Well, because I honestly have not done anything in the... Well, I could sit down and probably look at the pattern and maybe figure it out. I've not done anything like this. So she's completely going onto the edge of a cliff that I've never taken a look at. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's taken charge.
I'm sure it's not that difficult, but to me, I've never done it before. This is my first time, like, really, like, casting on off of something and making something else. So this edge was a little difficult for me, and I had to really... I mean, yes, I've used YouTube to help me, but other than that, I'm proud of myself because I haven't,
Sorry, that's my text message. Andy's coming back, so the dog's my brother.
But yeah, so I got one more square, you know, getting there. And then, so last time, this was my in rehearsal project. This was my birthday gift from Steve, my favorite murder mystery wrap by CC Allman. And so This is with Suburban Stitcher Sock and Triflers Need Not Apply, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's like, oh, it's me in a yarn ball, honestly. But, so the first clue came out. The second clue is coming out. Let's just say I haven't gotten there yet. But, so the cast on is in Icord Cast On. This is my very first time doing that.
It looks really pretty.
It looks so cool. Like, I really like the Icord Cast On. It's a really nice, like, you probably can't see it from here, but, like, it's a really pretty edge, and I really like it. But, it took this girl 6 hours to cast this on. Okay? 6 hours. 6 hours. And
so the colorway name really works. Triflers need not apply, because unless you are, like, the faint of heart, need not apply.
And I have to cast on another one because there's 2 pieces.
Ooh.
Let's just say Icord, after this project, if it's like something this big, maybe not. Maybe if it's in like a larger weight, I might be down for that. I think maybe, hopefully it'll go faster because I messed up and I had to take it all out and redo, but we'll see. But, so because it took me 6 hours, I haven't gotten that much. But what is super exciting is this is my very first time, there's cabling in this. This is my very first time doing cabling. And I'm kind of excited because it looks so cool, but it's also taking me a bit longer. But, I don't know how well you can see that.
You did cabling without my help.
I did this without anyone's help. Without anyone's. The only thing I looked online for... The only thing I looked online for was the Icord Cast On because I didn't know how to do that. But it looks really cool and I can't wait till I have more so you can like really see the definition. But I've honestly been wanting to try cabling, so I'm excited that it's in this. But let's just say it's going to take me a little while to get through clue 1 because I haven't even cast on the other one, but that's okay. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. It doesn't matter.
As long as you enjoy the process of getting there.
And it's gorgeous, y'all. Anyway, that's all.
We're going to keep going because the dogs didn't totally freak out and they just walked in the door. So
that's all I have.
Cool beans. In rehearsal, what are we going to cast on? Nothing.
I got too much.
Too much be going on. Alright, behind the scenes, my spinning. I'm still working on the first draft superwash merino and spilled ink. I did finish the first 2 ounces. I am working on the second 2 ounces. Here is my first bobbin. Doing a 2-ply fractal spin. It's a lovely soft gray with teal pops. Unfortunately, the first draft is no longer dyeing, so... let's move into the scene shop, our other crafting. I am cross-stitching a little bit. Again, I have to be home to do all these other crafts and... well, yeah. But I'm working on a Heaven and Earth design called One for Sorrow. It is on a 25 count easy grid fabric. And there's a little bit of what you can see. This is a full coverage piece, so this is a lot of background right now. But there's, probably 20 different colors in there. It doesn't look like a lot, but that's like, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 900 stitches, almost 1,000 stitches in there.
A lot.
I am doing that half stitch, 10 stitch, because I like the look of it better and it'll go quicker. So, yeah. What else? I am weaving 2 different weavings. I'm doing on my rigid heddle loom. I'm doing my Man of Mystery and Imperfection scarf. Really, if I show it to you, it's not going to look any different. I just moved it over here. But I have just a little bit left of the weft yarn, so I will hopefully get that off the loom to show you in the next episode or 2. I'm still doing my first project on the triangle loom. I don't know if it'll actually turn out to be anything, but I can only work on it for short spurts because you do have to stand up at it, and my arms get tired, and my legs get tired, and my back starts hurting. So I don't know if the triangle loom's totally me, which is why I'm happy I did a smaller investment. But I told Mandy she might be able to play around with it a little bit when I'm done. Which, if she brings it to the apartment, Mom's going to be super happy about that.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Triangles are my favorite shape, though.
Can bring it to the studio. You can do some late night weaving with, like...
creepy people
ghost music. You know, the movie of Ghosts with, like, music playing in the background.
Alright, Patrick Swayze.
Let's get it right on Demi Moore. Alright, so what are you working on?
I haven't had that much progress, but I am still working on my cross stitch, my Artiste Colorful Cow.
You never did show that.
I'm showing it in my other thing. That's why I'm trying to hide it. In fact. Da-da-da-da! So, look how handsome he is! I've basically gotten, like, this black done. That's about it. But I wanted to show because he's so cute. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute. That's my cow. So handsome. And then I'm working on my paint by number old farmhouse, which I've gotten a little done, but I didn't want to bring it because it's not enough to really show. You wouldn't be able to see much, but...
Cool, let's move into the spotlight. What are we watching and reading? Oh, I did finish that book. I didn't write it down, but... yeah. Anyway, I will look it up while you're talking about your stuff. We're still watching Westworld Season 2, which is on HBO, and since we signed up for that for Game of Thrones, we still haven't canceled it again, so we're watching that. There are some things I like more about this season, and there's some things I'm like, meh. I don't care for the lead girl's character's storyline for this season, but... and we're still watching Chambers. We got maybe another episode watched of that. And that's pretty much all we haven't been home to really watch anything. So that's been about... Oh, did I start something? I thought I started something. Oh, I started Slasher Season 3. I have one more episode left on it. It's very B-rated, and it's very, like, done in Canada B-rated, which it's, like, sincerely done in Canada with Canadian actors.
Yeah.
Because I always have to look up on IMDb who's who, and, like, every actor is Canadian. Probably because I didn't want to pay, like, U.S. prices. But it is Netflix. It's kind of American Horror Story where they reuse some of the cast is come back and is reacting. But it's a new story every season, and so yeah.
First season was the best.
Yeah.
But this season's better than the second season, personally, for me.
Yeah, I agree. So. All right, I'm going to look up my book while you...
All right. So...
Sorry, did you need that?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I started... So a lot of my shows have, like, gone for the season. Because I'm still one of those people that love shows that come out every week on, like, actual TV rather than binging them. While it's nice to binge them, I like that, like, every week you get something new, you know, you gotta wait. But on my birthday, it was a great birthday surprise because I didn't know that it was coming out till a few days before my birthday. But one of the shows that I really enjoy is Queen of the South, and it's a USA original. And excuse me. It's in its 4th season now. It's really about, like, female empowerment. Like, that's the biggest thing, which I love. But it deals with some hard issues because it's mainly about, like, the Mexican cartels and things like that, and drug trafficking and, like, really hard pressed issues. But the overall, like, overarching theme is female empowerment, which I love, and Latina empowerment and stuff like that. But the thing that killed me, so on my birthday was the season 4 premiere, and about a half hour before the show was to air, on Instagram, they did an Instagram live, and the main character, Alice Braga, she got on there, and I commented on there that it was my birthday, and she was like, "Oh, Amanda, it's your birthday?" She said, "Happy birthday to me." It made my birthday. Oh, it was amazing. And then literally like maybe a minute afterward the show started playing. So it was like all these emotions, but it was insane because this girl that I've loved for so many years playing this character said happy birthday to me, and then I see her on the TV. It was awesome. So there's been 2 episodes of season 4 so far. Amazeballs, like characters come back that you didn't think were gonna come back, that sort of thing. And then I've seen 2 movies. So when I was with my friend Meg up in Chicago, we went and saw Ma, which is with Octavia Spencer and a bunch of other noteworthy characters. It's one of those like thriller movies that if they didn't have those notable A actors, like it would be one of those B movies. But because they have all these A actors doing like nonsense work, it's like a big movie, And it wasn't bad. Octavia Spencer was awesome in it for the script that she was given. They could have made it much better if they made a better script, but it was still good. I mean, I wouldn't say go out to the movie theater and see it. I would like wait till it comes on Netflix or something, but I mean, it was worth the watch. But, the best part of going to that theater, my friend's theater, they redid it, and not only is it reclining seats, they have heated seats. I was down for that. And then yesterday my mom and I watched on Netflix called Murder Mystery. It's like brand new with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler, Luke Evans, who is so very handsome, and quite a few other...
Doesn't play for your team.
No, I know. I'm like, why? It's always those ones. But quite a few other like notable actors, and it was quite good, like very good. Like it was really funny, and just all I have to say is wait until the last 10 seconds of the movie, and I called that an hour ahead of time. That's all I have to say. It was amazing, but just remember that. I called that. It was great. But, yeah. So, definitely give that one a watch for sure. It was really good. So, yeah, that's about it for me.
Well, I'd actually finished listening to a book that took me forever and a day to get through it, but it was actually rather enjoyable. When I'm like, I could put my headphones in and listen to a book, or I could just talk to myself in my head half the time. Let's be honest, 99% of the time I just talk to myself in my head throughout the whole entire workday, because that's how I roll. But I did finish this book. I think I got this book. I used to be part of an online group in college. I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically a book swapping website where you could put up books that you had in your library, and people could claim them, and you would ship the book to them at no cost. Like, you paid for the shipping, but then you got a credit on the website to get a book from somebody else. So if that makes sense, like, you paid for the shipping up front, but then the other person shipped the book to you.
So you're really not, like... Yeah. You're getting a new book.
You're getting a new book for a book that you sent to somebody. So I used to do that a lot when I had no money in college. But anyway, I had this book on my bookcase, and I looked, and it was on Audible last time I was looking for a new book. So I downloaded it, and I've been listening to it for a very long time. But I did finish it, and I actually did rather enjoy it, and it is not my normal read. So I am going to read the synopsis for you. Bear with me just so that I don't forget anything, because it has been such a long range for me. The book is called The Shadow of the Wind, which is been translated from Spanish, and it is by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and I'm going to read the summary for you. So it says Barcelona, 1945. Just after the war, a great world city lies in shadow, nursing its wounds, and a boy named Daniel awakes on his 11th birthday to find that he can no longer remember his mother's face. To console his only child, Daniel's widowed father, an antiquarian book dealer, initiates him into the secret of the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, a library tended by Barcelona's Guild of Rare Book Dealers, as a repository for books forgotten by the world, waiting for someone who will care about them again. As a book lover, that kind of got me, right? Ooh, the Cemetery of Forgotten Books. Daniel's father coaxes him to choose a volume from the spiraling labyrinth of shelves, one that, it is said, will have a special meaning for him. And Daniel so loves the novel he selects, The Shadow of the Wind by one Julian Carax, that he sets out to find the rest of Carax's work. To his shock, he discovers that someone has been systematically destroying every copy of every book this author has written. In fact, he may have the last one in existence. Before Daniel knows it, his seemingly innocent quest has opened a door into one of Barcelona's darkest secrets, an epic story of murder, magic, madness, and doomed love. An uncannily absorbing historical mystery, a heart-piercing romance, and a moving homage to the mystical power of books. The Shadow of the Wind is a triumph of the storyteller's art. So, I actually really enjoyed this. Like I said, once I really started to get all the pieces together at the end, I was really intrigued. But it is a really good book. I highly recommend it. The Audible version was really enjoyable. Again, that's The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, which I will have linked in the show notes.
Book burning. It, like, as soon as you said book burning, I'm like, Fahrenheit 451. That's literally, like, what came through my head. I'm like, okay, Ray Bradbury, and now my head's going elsewhere.
See, and I thought Book Thief.
The Book Thief, one of the best books I've ever read. Honestly, and then I watched the movie, and it was good, but man...
I don't think I read it, but I watched most of the movie.
Oh my goodness, that book, I was overwhelmed at first, because I think I may have had to read it for school, because it's so big, but it's so largely filled with pictures and, like, images and stuff, but, oh my goodness, yes, that's a great book.
Alright, so, highly recommend that book, especially since it's out of my normal genre of, like, murder mystery or a supernatural mystery. I did actually enjoy that very much. Alright, let's talk stash enhancement. So, while I have been good the past two shows at the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival and Estes Park Wool Market, I did not get anything at either one of those. I was very bad at Stitches United. I made new friends. I wanted to support other friends. And I actually had permission from Andy, so, you know, it is what it is. First up, I supported a vendor that I have been working alongside of for years, and I have never supported her, and she had like 3 colors. When she brings in new colors, she discontinues other colors, and she puts them all on clearance in her booth. And so she had 3 colors on a variety of bases, all for 50% off. So I was like, I'll go over there. And this color, while not my normal color, does scream to me. And I said, I'm going to get a sport weight sweater's worth of yarn. So
Very pretty.
From Knitting Notions, and she is based out of Nashville, I got 6 skeins of her Classic Merino Superwash Sport, which is 340 yards to 100 grams of sport weight, in the golden olive colorway, which looks like this. So
It doesn't even show as well on camera. It is very pretty in person.
Yeah. I am going to knit a sweater out of this. I've got, a sweater's left to make for that. And then a new to me vendor, was Cozy Colorworks, and they were very generous and donated for our retreat. And so I went over to their booth, and I really liked that they have yarn that I don't see normally. I believe that it could very well possibly be milled for them. But then I also found an Amber O'Brien wrap, which I totally love, which I have not seen before, which is the Cardenia wrap, which looks like this.
Oh, Amber. She's
So
killing me.
I picked up the pattern. And then I picked up 3 skeins of their Cozy Colorworks. Well, their fingering weight. It is approximately 550 yards, so it's a light fingering. And it's just merino. But this first one is Mocha Magic, which is going to be the light color. So the light color in there. And then the blue, the pop of color, is going to be Brick. And then my dark color, which is the black in there that has a little bit of lace work, is a very cool color. This was what drew me into their booth, which is called River Run. And so it's like a very dark slate blue-gray with pops of that brick color and like black. So that is going to be the gardenia wrap. So I've got that kitted and ready to go. And that is from Cozy Colorworks, which I will link to in the show notes. And this is actually really soft yarn. It's not overspun. It's really nice. Well, wait, there's more. So across from us was Signature Needle Arts. I did not get a pair of needles, but they did generously donate a pair to the retreat. But just next to them was the Yarnery, which is a yarn store based out of St. Paul, Minnesota, which is at least partially male-owned. And they had quite a few project bags. They had fringe bags of a variety of things. They had another bag which I really liked, but then I tried it on and it had like a handle, but then it had a loop through the handle, so you could pull the handle and make it into straps. So I tried to put it on as a backpack, and then I almost couldn't get it off of me because the straps were so short. But then I saw this bag, and I really loved the size of it. It is a Ginger Snap Goods bag, and the owner was telling me he's like, a fabulous drag queen makes these bags. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get it now. So they all have this denim, but then they have different colored pops of top and lining. So this is beautiful denim. And that's a nice, I mean, come on, look at her head. Look at his back. Look at her head. Look at his back.
I have a big head.
And then it's got a double drawstring. Yes, I mean, this is fabulous. This is going to the retreat with me this week, I believe. But I actually chose yellow because I really love the aqua lining as well. I thought it really worked well. Because he had like a gray and like a poppy red. But I went with yellow. And inside of it is a kit that I picked up from the Yarnery for the pattern Stole, super descriptive, by Teresa Gaffey. And I've actually seen this at a different yarn store last year at a trunk show. But it is basically a wide-ribbed stole knit lengthwise in 9 different colors of Alpaca 2 by Icord yarns, which is an alpaca blend, or maybe it's 100. It's 50% alpaca, 50% wool, and they're 50-gram balls. So, of course, Andy's like, you couldn't get the $30-some-odd kit you were looking at. You had to get the $115 kit. Well, I did. And that's all she wrote. Seriously, look at this bag. This is fabulous. Okay. That's all that I got. No, that's not all that I got. I almost forgot to put this on the show notes, but then I remembered. I did a swap with a lovely new vendor to me. She is based out of Los Angeles, and she is Birdie Parker Designs, and she does wonderful knitting and crafting themed jewelry and accessories. And I saw these leather, silver, and she had gold and silver plated bracelets, and I really like this one. So I swapped for this one. It is a gray leather with this stockinette stitch, pressed sterling silver, maybe sterling, I don't know, it's silver. It's real silver. Plate on it, and it's got your grommet here, which you can move in to make it bigger or smaller. But I've been wearing this for the past 3 weekends, and I kind of love it. So check out Birdie Parker Designs. I will have her shop linked in our show notes, and she is going to be donating to our retreat as well. She has wonderful stitch markers, but also earrings, beautiful yarn ball necklaces, and different bracelets and everything you could imagine.
Cool beans.
All right, what did you get? You got some stash in hands, Matt.
I do. But my baby.
Come over to me. I'm gonna get all your Facebook.
Sorry,
out.
he is my baby. That's my baby right there. He's all warm.
Especially since Daddy got home and went upstairs so he wouldn't bother us.
So this is something I forgot to show you a while back because I forgot to bring it. But Steve got me something because he loves me, you know? It was one of those kind of gifts.
Yep.
This is for my cross stitch because I don't have a needle minder. And I was
She didn't know she needed one until she found out what they were.
Yeah. But I was always having to, you know, poke holes in my cross stitch. And he got me this amazing needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique, which is on Etsy, and you can also find her on Facebook as well. But it's amazing. It's Elvis, guys. It's
not just Elvis. It's a bedazzled Elvis.
It's a bedazzled Elvis. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. And, you know, my needle just sticks right on there. It's awesome. And she was so sweet. She sent, like, an extra one as a gift. It's this, like, cute little girl with a bikini on. That's the cutest thing ever. I was like, oh my goodness, I got two. Now I gotta cross-stitch two things at one time, right? Like, that's what she's telling me, right?
Or you could put two on your work and have one needle with another thread ready to go when you're done with the first one. I just rained down that parade.
But, so I got that. And then, I'm dropping stuff. Our fairy yarn mother might have, like, sent some things, and I might have stole something out of there because, you know.
Our fairy yarn mother is very generous, and she always says that we get first dibs. And this last package, I didn't think any was going to be of interest to Amanda and I, and some stuff's going to be donated actually to the retreat for the goodie, you know, giveaway table and prizes and stuff like that. But Amanda's like, I'm going to take this. I'm like, really? She's like, she was so excited.
Yes. So it is an entire set. Hang on, I still have to give the big review. Of straight needles. So I'm excited. Like, I really want to try to, like, legitimately work with these because I think when I saw these, it was more, like, nostalgic because I don't even know if Steve remembers this, but way back in the day when I was a kid, he was still working at Meijer, and he bought me a straight set of these purple needles and some yarn and, like, tried to teach me how to knit way back when I was a kid. And I remember that, and I tried hard. I don't know if I ever finished anything, but it was a big deal to me. Like, my big brother trying to teach me to do something. Like, that was a big deal to me.
My big brother trying to teach me to knit.
It was a big deal to me. And I think I might actually kind of, also they're really pretty, but I think I might actually kind of enjoy using them. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you got to find the right project, which is, I'm completely converted to circulars, but like your scarf would work on the straights. Yeah. I don't know if your blanket might work on, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because of the miter, if it would work really well, but like the scarf would work, and certain other things would work on the straights.
But I definitely want to try them out. I may share later on in the future, but right now I want to try them out for myself. I was really excited when I saw these, so thank you. But yeah, so I actually had something this time.
Let's move into Inside the Knitter's Studio, where viewers like you ask us questions, which we then answer. So we do have a Q&A thread in our Ravelry group, Dramatic Knits Video Podcast, where you can ask us questions, and we will work every episode to answer a new question and move down the list. This episode's question is a two-for. It says, for both of us, what skills do you still want to learn in your knitting? I heard Mandy mention she wants to learn mosaic knitting, so it made me think of this question. So, what skills do we still want to learn? I've learned brioche. I've never really cared to learn more of it. I've kind of forgotten it. I took a class, did a scarf. It was cool, whatever, but it wasn't my jam. But I am actually going to take a class at the Super Summer Knit Together this summer on brioche and tuck stitches so that I can force myself to kind of delve back into it and maybe see if I can pick back up and learn something new from where I was before. For a variety of reasons. One, to force myself to get over that hurdle again, but two, based off of the classes that were offered, I felt like it was a good fit for me. So I'd say brioche and tuck stitches, which I've heard of before. What about you?
Well, like that said, I honestly still would like to try mosaic knitting. It just scares me because I feel like it's kind of like with color work, like...
It's easier than color work, that's for sure.
But you have to have, like, 2 colors. I don't know.
But you're just striping every row.
Yeah, but I also think for me... I'm going to put you down, buddy. You need to go to bed. I'd have to find, like, 2 colors that actually work well together. I don't know. I'm very picky. Another thing I really wanted to try was cable knitting, which I'm doing now with my favorite murder mystery wrap, so I'm excited about that. But one thing at a time. But mosaic would be fun. Or, like, is that also considered mosaic if you have, like a name written, like, in a hat or something?
It depends. A lot of times that's color work. That's not mosaic. Okay. Or it can even be intarsia.
Maybe that. That would be fun.
Intarsia's crazy.
Oh, that's scary.
See,
I have seen at our local yarn store, I've seen, I don't know if it was an actual, like, knitted out object or if it was a pattern, but I saw something and I was like, that's really cute. And he said, that's brioche. Ew. And so...
Don't just listen to me. You can find what you like to do too. You just have to figure out what you like.
I don't know. Like, people seem to think brioche is, like, difficult or something, so I don't know.
Either people do or they don't, or they feel like it's... To me, it just... You have to have the mental space to get into the rhythm of brioche because you're essentially knitting one side. You have 2 sets of stitches on your needle, and you're knitting and slipping, and then you got to knit that same row again, but knit the slip stitch. You're essentially doing twice the amount of knitting for... Anyway, I'll explain. But
that scares me. Maybe
but
someday.
Miters scared you a little bit. Icord Cast On scared
mitered
you.
squares didn't scare me. Like the picking up and casting on scared me. And I achieved that. So...
The second part of this episode's question says, also for Steve, do you have any desire to try to design with your own pattern one day, or happy collaborating with indie designers? Honestly, my token response is I am happy to collaborate with indie designers. I have so much going on, I do not need the pressure or the stress of designing my own stuff. I am happy to give yarn to people all over the world to design beautiful things that love that aspect. Occasionally, I get an idea in my head and I run with it. So, while my boomerang pattern recipe is not a pattern, I do teach that. I have a dog's cabled sweater out there that was my first design, but that was only because I was challenged to do that. But my other design is the Father Time cowl, and that is a super simple pattern. And the wrap that I'm doing right now is another super simple pattern, but with a variety of techniques into it. So I would say that I am a very basic designer, if that, when I do design things, but I kind of think of what I want to incorporate or what I want to see come out of a yarn or come out of a pattern or come out of the mix of both. In terms of the Father Time cowl, I wanted to be able to use a one skein of variegated yarn and do something that gave the yarn a shining moment. So I am designing right now. I have designs in the past, but I don't foresee it becoming very Voluminous? Voluminous?
Even I technically designed something. I did.
Your bow tie?
No, I created a scarf. Do you remember way back when I was using that red yarn I also
Oh,
used?
yeah.
Yeah. I adore that scarf that I made. Like, I just did random... I should go back and, like, try to write it. I should do that again.
You should totally do that.
I should.
I think you approach crafting much different than I do. I like to follow instructions, whereas you, I think, are intrigued by the process. And you like to figure out how things work. So, thank you so much for your question. And if you'd like to ask us a question, hop on over to the Ravelry board and submit your question on the thread there. All right, let's move into a round of applause. We are... Oh, I jumped over it again. Going back into In the Spotlight, we do have a giveaway this episode. It is for Easy Baby Knits by Claire Montgomery. And it is clothes and accessories for 0 to 3 years old. It looks like a lot of garter stitch, so, you know, easy knitting, small knitting. You know you want to knit some stuff out of here. And look at that adorable baby. But blankets to little jackets and dresses and bonnets and sweaters and booties and blankets and scarves and, yeah.
I need to make some tiny things. Some people I know are having babies.
If you would like to be entered to win this copy of this book, which again was donated by our fairy yarn mother, you can hop on over to our Ravelry group, Dramatic Knits Video Podcast Group, and submit your entry. You must be a member of the group, and the prompt for this episode is, do you follow your heart or your head? I thought that was interesting. And you can feel free to clarify between the two. However you'd like to answer. One answer per person, and we will lock the thread and use a random number generator to pull from a winner when we record next episode. This week's giveaway I have left at the studio, so you don't get to see it, but I showed it last episode, and that was a giveaway for the book Vogue Knitting, the Ultimate Knitting Book. Excuse me, pink drink. And the... prompt was, what is your favorite meal of the day? And random number generator selected number 5, which is Jessica Brist, and that is Jessica from Wyoming, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, Wisconsin is WI.
No, I know, but I'm like, I don't remember Wyoming, but it must be Wyoming. Anyway.
I did a thing on Wyoming in 5th grade, like a state thing.
No, I know WY is Wyoming. I just don't feel like that. Anyway, Jessica Brist, congratulations. Maybe it's just the pink drink getting to me, plus it's like almost my bedtime. So she said, my favorite meal is dinner. It's the only meal when I feel that it is okay to eat anything I want. And I thought it was funny because the first thing she put was pancakes, salad, sandwiches, enchiladas, etc. So, yeah, you know, I totally love breakfast for dinner. That's like the best thing ever.
See, and I love like dinner for breakfast. Like, I wake up, like
you're craving some leftover pot roast?
No, like if I'm gonna eat like in the morning, like I'll eat protein. Like, I don't feel guilty. Like, whatever. I don't know.
So I think it's funny because Andy will make like sausage sandwiches in the morning, but then he has like his pimento cheese spread on crackers. So like, I'm like, you're having lunch for breakfast.
Or like he'll have one of those like random pizzas or whatever. Hey.
He is so excited. We got a new stove. So we bought our stove when we moved into this house 6 years ago. And it did us very well, and it shouldn't have broken, but we did use it for the business for years. But the stove, or the oven part, officially just stopped heating. So we were trying to broil everything, and that just doesn't work. So Memorial Day, we went out and bought a new stove. Long story short, it took them, 4 weeks to get it to us. So we got a new stove. It's one of those black stainless steel stoves. But he's so excited to go out and get some Tombstone pizzas because that boy loves a good Tombstone pizza.
Those are disgusting.
The cheapest, cardboardist, least condimented.
No, Jack's pizzas are worse than Tombstone.
Okay, but he loves a good Tombstone. And I can eat Tombstone if like we're doing a super quick let's just eat dinner or whatever. I can eat it, but yeah. He is so excited to get some Tombstone pizza.
I'd rather spend $3.50 at Aldi for their nice rising crust pizza.
But see, he likes a good thin crust, and he doesn't get it very often because I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right along, we have our May 2019 Race to the Finished Object contest has come to a close because, we're more than halfway done through June. The prize for May is 2 skeins of Nitpick Stroll Fingering in the Blaze Multi, because I thought this was like a fun July, it's gonna get hot color. And the winner of this was number 220, who is Debbie J. Jackson. That's Debbie from California. And you know what, Debbie? There's a good chance I'm probably going to see you this weekend, but I'm still not going to bring this. I want you to hear it, and I want you to shout me out and give me your address so that I can mail these out to you. I want you to hear it on the podcast. So, Debbie, congratulations. I usually see her every year at ZK. Got to see her at SoCal last year, too. Very kind-hearted woman. And she did a shortcut cowl by Stephanie Lotvin. That was her prize-winning entry for the Race to the Finished Object. The second winner is our pattern winner from our featured designer, and this is Jen Lucas's first month as our featured designer. And number 38 was the winner. That is TD Brace, and that's Tess from Vermont. She did a basic peanut body stuffed character by Rebecca Danger, and that won her a pattern of her choice from Jen Lucas. It does have to be one of her self-published patterns that is giftable via Ravelry. So, Tess, if you would please private message me, Dramatic Knits, on Ravelry, and let me know which one of her patterns you would like. I will let Jen know, and she will gift it to you. So congratulations to Debbie and Tess and everyone for showing off their finished objects for the month of May. If you have finished something in the month of June and you have not entered it into our June Race to the Finished Object contest, we highly encourage you to do so. Again, we will have a prize from our prize pool. We're getting a little low on yarn from our prize pool, but, Lord knows I can pull from my stash of things that I have not met with in a while to pull for yarn. And then we also have a pattern from our featured designer, who again is Jen Lucas, who will be featured with us for the next couple of months. Her patterns are linked in our show notes, which can be found at dramaticknits.com. All right, let's move into center stage. Leading Men Fiber Arts, Kate Retreat. We are officially done full up on on-site spots. Everyone is paid, so unless there's a cancellation, all on-site spots have been filled. We do have 8 off-site spots available. The price for off-site spot includes everything other than your lodging. You are required to book your own lodging and pay for that. But the price does include everything else, including breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks, a class, Saturday night entertainment, Friday night entertainment, your goodie bag, everything else is included in that price.
Us.
Yes, us. We're going to be crazy running around like chickens with our heads cut off. But we will be entertaining nonetheless, and we're super excited about it. But if you'd like to come join us, we'd love to fill those spots and have you join us for the first annual Knitting at the Estate Retreat. And you can purchase those off-site spots on the leadingmenfiberarts.com website. So there's that. We will have an open market on Saturday afternoon, which is open to retreat attendees as well as the public. We have 15 wonderful vendors coming across the Midwest, north and south, east and west, coming from all over. If you are a maker or a designer or yarn dyer, whatever, lotion maker, hand soap yarn or soap maker, whatever, and you would like to showcase your business and be a sponsor of the Knitting at the Estate Retreat, we would love to have you be a sponsor. All that requires is that you either donate a door prize or something for our goodie bags if you are interested. Goodie bags, we would need 80 of whatever you are putting in the goodie bag to put in there, and that will get you one of our sponsorships, and you will be put on our Ravelry group and our website as a sponsor with a link to your logo and website. We do have our hat drive going on, and they have been blowing people out of the water. They would love to get more participants. If you are going to Knitting at the Estate and you have not taken a look at the hat drive thread, the group in that thread has set a goal of raising 400 hats by the time of the retreat. And I believe they are almost at their halfway point, which is 200 hats, which is amazing. Denise is doing a wonderful job organizing that. She is giving amazing prizes every month. They're doing challenges. It's a hoot and a half over there. So go on and check that thread and join along. It does not have to be a fresh knit hat. It could be something that you have knit previously and is not being worn. So definitely go and check that thread out. Other than that, I wanted to talk to you about keep an eye out. We'll have new kits going up in the shop. We have some new kits premiering at the Zombie Apocalypse this weekend. That's our next show. There is an open market for that on Saturday, June 22nd, which is this Saturday in Rochester, Minnesota at the Doubletree Hotel. It is open to the public from 1 to 4. And then the following weekend, Saturday, June 29th, we will be doing a trunk show at Woolen Company in St. Charles, Illinois, which is a wonderful, small but yet curated store. They said they wanted to be like Nordstrom's, a yarn store. They do a beautiful job. They have a whole line of Brooklyn Tweed, a whole line of Shibumi, just amazing. They have a Madeline Tosh custom order wall where you can pick your base, pick your color, and go, and they'll ship it to you. So they do some amazing work over there. We are excited to be back with them once again for a trunk show on Saturday, June 29th. We will be there personally with our yarns from open to close on Saturday. And yeah, so until then, we will see you in about 2 weeks or so, and I will recap the ZK retreat and hopefully show you what next month's colorway of the month will be. We thought we had it narrowed down, but then Andy said he might want to change it on them. Andy likes it.
I do, because I found a name that I really like.
And I like your name, but I also like my name, so it's like, so Andy might stick with it depending on the name. I don't know.
But let's be real, my names are better.
Well, my name's kind of laugh out loud chuckle. Anyway, until we see you again in 2 weeks or so, we hope you
did something. Drum.